Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does!
And that might be the knockout punch.
All right, greetings and salutations. Another episode of Fangs up here, and man, good time. Good time to be a rattler. Good time if you are a fan of FAMU athletics. Did not realize I was kind of sweating a little bit, but we'll get that fixed. Um, the day after, we get to see a rattler enshrined into the NFL Hall of Fame. And if you haven't been on social media, I was like, I ought to download some of it. I should not. But go to the FAMU Athletics Twitter page, FAMU Athletics uh, Facebook. Sorry, I don't know if it's on Instagram. It's probably on Instagram too. But go over there and check out some of the photos. Also check out 80 sites, some of the stuff she's put out there. You can kind of get into some of the celebration that went around or has gone around. Former head coach FAMU's own Ken Riley as he enters the NFL Hall of Fame. It was good. It was really cool. I personally enjoyed it. And it was nice that you were able to see parts of the speech. I'm gonna go back and rewatch it just because I was busy at the time, but it's it's time if you're a FAMU fan. So, but before we get too far started, big shout out to HBCU Digital Network. This is home to Herb Stewart and the Black Techies, also home to the Fangs Up podcast. So, but today's episode it is Lincoln, not the Trojans, and this is again, we're going game by game, but in this one, man, this hit at the right time. I'm so glad it just happened. I didn't plan it like this. That the induction of Kid Riley happened yesterday because honestly, when it comes to Lincoln, it is going to be an interesting experience, and they are positioning themselves. If you look at their schedule within the last couple of years, they position themselves to really become the new Virginia University of Lynchburg, right? The school that kind of plays all the HBCUs and, you know, kind of is what it is. They're also playing Cal Poly, Lamar, Kennesaw State, Utah. So they're not only playing HBCUs, but they do also play Tennessee State, Southern. But this is going to be their season finale for them. So yeah, it's not a game I'm exactly ecstatic for, if I'm being honest. But I think it's going to be a good experience for their student athletes. This is going to be a game that FAMU should dominate. I mean, there's no nice way to say it, and I'm just double checking what level of athletics they play, and I posted on their website. So it's just kind of yeah, like it's one of those games. It should be a blowout. It should be an absolute blowout. They should not compete with FAMU in any way, shape, or form. And for me to say otherwise is honestly an embarrassment to you as a fan. Like this should be a game that by halftime FAMU is playing the backups. It is the SWS Intercollegiate Conference. So, hello, show contributor Kyra. She is the mini me. If you want food, you're going to go downstairs and warm it up yourself. She wants gum. So, aren't you chewing gum?
I want more. The flavor has left it.
Get another piece of gum. This is what happens when you have children. Sometimes they come into your room in the middle of a show asking for chewing gum. It is what it is. But they are in the SWS Intercollegiate Conference. Your guess is as good as mine on that one. But when it comes to outside of FAMU and the other schools they play, it's not. It's not anybody really talking about. So, but this should be a blowout. Honestly, it's also going to be the culmination of the FAMU's athletic season, likely to be senior night. Let's double check the theme for that night. Double check. going to be Military Appreciation / Senior Day, 6 p.m. kick. So I'll give you all forewarning before that game starts, and it's going to be on Rattlers Plus. Get a jacket if you're going to be there. It's going to be cold. It is going to be cold, and that is a game right before the Florida Classic. So hopefully we get a good turnout because it is senior night. But before I even like really get too deep into this one, this should be a game where FAMU drops 50 points. We can just we can just put it there. And as a matter of fact, I believe Southern played them last year, so we'll double check with Southern and see what they did to them last year. I believe that was one of those games where they put a whooping on them. But yeah, this is a non-competitive game, something that you could probably care less about when it comes to the football schedule. So about that Lincoln University game, nope, it's not the Trojans. I think we should probably win this one by a good 30 to 40 points. Like I'm gonna go 52-17. That's just me being nice and saying they get some garbage touchdowns on the third stringers or the people that they just pull out of the stands. Like yeah. Oh no, Southern didn't play them last year, so yeah, this is gonna be one of those games, kind of like how Southern did Flomo last year, dropped 86 on them. It's gonna be that kind of vibe, that kind of hype. But it's gonna be a great opportunity for Rattlers Plus to get out there. I think that's gonna be one of the big takeaways from this game. What do games look like on Rattlers Plus? Rattlers Plus is going to be the new online streaming service. They also have an app for the game or for the program. That's going to be its debut. So, how many cameras do we have? How do we do as far as running this program? And look, I definitely I got to hit up Josh. I posted it on last week when something came up, but it's going to be one of those games where students from the J school really need to run it. That's kind of me as a fan. That's my hope, where we start getting our journalists to really get involved in that. But it's going to be the first football game, Rattlers Plus, blackout, and the whatnot. So good times there. That's really what it is on that one. If you missed it though, FAMU baseball keeps adding though. FAMU baseball adds another commitment, and that was really cool. That was again the benefit of having a really successful program is that people actually want to come to your school, and that's honestly that's what I'm looking for. Like I want to be able to see that, and I want to see us continue to win. Like that's something that it's important to me, but it's also just important as a fan. Like getting to see that, getting to see us bring in those talented players and whatnot is awesome. Forgive me for looking up. I'm trying to pull it over because I'm not gonna lie, Lincoln University is not turning the knob. Um, so we got like another infielder. Other thing though, and this is the big thing, and I guess we can really let this kind of lead the way. We got a apology statement from Boston Ricky. Like if you notice, I stayed kind of quiet on that. I didn't really try to break too much news on that because honestly, to me, it wasn't what I was going to do. But this is on the Twitter page. Got this from our good brother Gerald Thomas III for the Tallahassee Democrat. And out of respect for FAMU, the video from Send the Blitz is no longer available. I have a long-standing and amicable relationship with the FAMU community and its athletic teams, and I hope to continue to build with them in the future. This video is not meant to be disrespectful in any way, but to highlight my love for the school and its teams. Sending lots of love to the Rattlers for a great season. And go stream Send a Blitz. So right there, you get a statement from Boston Ricky. I stayed quiet on it because I didn't know what it was going to be, honestly. But it's pretty cool. Like it's really cool to see that one, the video gets taken down. So it's something that it lasted for 2 hours and maybe a week. Gave people who really hate FAMU something to talk about. Oh, the program gets shut down. Ha ha ha. You get to laugh at FAMU again. And then it's right over. Like that was the shortest lived scandal that we've had in quite a while, and thank God for that. Like it just wasn't a great look. Like it wasn't something that honestly you really want to be highlighting. It's not something that I'm really gonna be shouting out, but it was what it was. I mean, yeah, no, it didn't look good. Yeah, it made us look bad in the moment, but at the same point, to have the artist go up there and say, "Hey, man, not a good look. I'm gonna shut it down." It's even better. And then we start seeing where AD Sykes is doing some things, especially related to the football program. You see it in his real mission, graduating students, and this is why they come to FAMU. You're seeing that current athletes walking across the stage, former athletes, however you want to put it, but student FAMU students are graduating and finishing, and that helps us with the compliance thing. And that's something else that we haven't heard this year. Like, give shout out to Larry Robinson. Some of the problems we had last year, we're not having this year. Like, just kinda coming out there and saying it. Like, some of the problems from last year aren't there. Housing, you don't have the same housing. You don't have the housing issue out there. Not like last year. It was a problem last year. We gave Larry hell for it, and honestly, rightly so. But this year, it's gotten better. Like, it's not the same problem. The compliance issues, those were tackled and aggressively addressed. Like, something that needed to happen was for those compliance issues to not happen again. Like, that was not something that we could be able to withstand, like, just as a program. So, and that was mm, it was good, and it's good to see the growth of the program. You're starting to see even some of the facilities upgrades, like, and I'm pulling this straight from, social, but this is on the FAMU Twitter page right here. You see Musa, first practice has started, so y'all can start to see, like, they look decent. I'll say this, this conditioning program is a lot better than in college. Like, you can see that our athletes look better. I mean, they look like they actually belong playing college football. I believe that's Trey Fisher up front, and you can start to see that we are a better program. Like, that's something I was looking forward to, and the other thing, you know, winning brings people like, we're seeing John Gray third transfer from Jackson State. Come on down, good brother. He was actually committed to Jackson State, but he's another transfer from Southeast Louisiana. So that's our second one. So at a time when you lost your top defensive end in Kamari Stevens, you get another one that was highly sought after. Like, we all know what the chatter is gonna be now. Like, "Hey, he this, that, and the third. We didn't need him, whatever." But at the same point, you didn't need him in the first place, you wouldn't have offered. And it's a huge get for FAMU. Like, I mean, the trash talking point is gonna be the trash talking point, and y'all already know for OBC what it's gonna be. But it's huge. Like, for FAMU to be able to get another defensive lineman and to really lose one, get one, that solidifies the fact that FAMU is gonna be committed to trying to really have a good season. And when you go back and watch some of what Coach Simmons is saying this season, he's already telling you that. He's telling you that this year, I'm looking to have us get a better understanding of the offense. Big thing he was complaining about wasn't mistakes. He was complaining about tempo. He's like, offense needs to go faster. That tells me that this offense is going to continue to run at tempo, and it's going to be a fast-paced offense. FAMU is going to be one of those offenses, in my opinion, where they're obviously going to use space. Like, FAMU does use space. It's a form of the spread offense if you look at FAMU's offense, but it's also going to be a system in which FAMU's going to be moving quick. Like, as far as like, they're not going to really try to give players a chance to get their energy back up. Like, it's going to be exciting football, and that's needed for recruiting because in recruiting, like, I'm just saying, FAMU's got the best recruiting coordinator in HBCU athletics. Uh, ain't no shade against anybody else, but FAMU is doing stuff that other schools are doing. Alright, and they're putting their own FAMU swag on it. Like, this right here, like, good luck this season from the Rattlers. What are the HBCUs doing? And this is very common to see where from your Power 5 programs, your Florida States and whatever else, and where they've gotten from just sending the students a million letters to where, "Hey, let's get the digital team to send this. I don't have to pay postage, any of that," and they email it to the students, put it on their Twitter pages. Go back and check Coach Riz's page. You're gonna see a good pretty much all the top athletes that are being recruited by FAMU have got this. good luck this season from the Rattlers. Like, just letting you know, like, FAMU is increasing its recruiting presence, especially in football. I don't know if Riz could just take over some of the other sports too, but you're seeing where FAMU athletes are being heavily recruited because we're also seeing where NFL coaches are on campus. We've seen 2 teams from the NFC South within as the Bucks and the Carolina Panthers have both been on campus. Now, who they're here to see, I don't know. I'll definitely see if I can remember and try to ask that question to Coach Simmons, but that's a question. Like, okay, what players y'all here to see? But then also, why are y'all here to see them? And some of the answer is obvious. Like, some of the answer is because we're getting that traction, we're getting that motion, like, some program to be a part of. So, mentioning that though, in recruiting, this is our baseball signing. Sorry, I didn't have it ready earlier. Corey Fortson was our signing. He's a Georgia kid. So, um, so for those who missed it, that was the guy that committed for the baseball team. Sorry to kind of, but since I was in recruiting, I saw it. I was like, I found it. Let me make sure I mention it. But that was the guy we got in recruiting. But you're able to see like FAMU's bringing people on campus, and we're getting attention, and it's good attention. But part of it is because of the success of some of the players that have been here, like Xavier Smith. Like Xavier Smith's in the NFL doing it. Looks like he's doing his thing. Honestly, looks like he's gonna make the team because this don't look like he's struggling. Now, granted, yeah, he's got pads on, but he looks solid. Like I'll check with my Rams in the know person to see if they can share more information with me. But when you start putting players in the NFL, you start to kind of see that it's a program worth watching. It's a program worth investing in. And even as a fan, you want us to continue to invest and put things into the program to make it better. So, um, yeah, man, it's really interesting and it's really smart. Like just as far as recruiting, I told y'all Riz is I like what he's doing because now he's not only showing, hey, this is what FAMU can do, this is what FAMU is, this is what we got. Like if you haven't seen his latest video, he posted up there the cooling. Really, it's a tractor trailer with the air conditioning and bleachers in it. But you're seeing where FAMU's trying to show off that hey, we got facilities. Like, okay, the locker room ain't the biggest, the field house ain't the newest, but the locker room looks nice. We do have the cooling facilities, as you can see. He posted it right here. Like these are the cool. This is that new cooling tractor trailer that the boosters paid for. Like you're able to see that FAMU's making upgrades. And it's not just that same old FAMU facilities line. Like it's making a difference. As far as for me as a fan, like it's making a difference because now, yeah, I want to invest. Coach is showing off. Coach is letting you know that those things are happening, and it's gonna keep pushing the program forward. So that's really my hope for this season that we do those things and that we get some of those wins. Again, go check out, Coach Red, especially on social media. He's got it going, and he's really telling y'all what's going on as far as with the updates. So, but yeah, man. So, and then again, celebration for the weekend. Man, Kim Riley was huge. Like he was huge at FAMU. Like I'll be honest, I don't remember him as a player. I wasn't born yet. What I do remember as the athletic director. I tell anyone, and I've said on here before, Ken Riley is my favorite athletic director that I've had while being a fan. Like just for championships, the way he fixed the budget, the things he did as an athletic director were awesome. Like as a coach, he was all right. Like he was all right. Like the record wasn't great. His thing was definitely as an athletic director. Dude was a genius. Like he was a Rhodes Scholar, something like that. Like he was actually a genius, like really smart. And you saw that play out in our athletic program. You saw that no, we didn't get all the facilities upgrades while he was there, but what you did, you had winning programs. And I think that's the only thing you would ever say is like, and you didn't do a facilities boom. But at the same point, yeah, you know, you can't get mad about that. That kind of is what it is there. But what you can say is FAMU won. Like Kim Riley as the AD was a winning thing. Like, uh, like just go look at the years he was there. Like, look at the championships that we won. That was the Billy Joe era. Like, enough needs to be said that that was the Billy Joe era, the most successful time that FAMU's ever had, as far as in recent memory, was while he was the athletic director. Like, even the basketball program was really solid. Like, it was, you know, we had a nice little run. So you start to see like that's probably going to be for me as a fan. That's what I remember. My dad remembers him for being the rattler, the corner, and all those things. But as a fan, that's going to be the thing that's probably going to be his legacy as a fan. Like for me, as a not younger, but from when I was um, able to remember. There we go. I was trying to find the right words because as a coach, I was a kid. I was smaller, but as an AD, that's what he was remembered for. And now as a Hall of Famer, it's kind of cool to come back and see the groups come together. Like to see your older Rattlers talk to the younger Rattlers, and now it's even sweeter because the same year you get a Hall of Famer that goes to the NFL Hall of Fame for FAMU, you have three Rattlers playing in the NFL. Um, 4 playing in the major professional leagues because you do have Savion in the what's that USFL, Pittsburgh Gladiators. So you got Savion Williams, you got Xavier Smith, Marquise Bell, and Isaiah Land. And then you get Isaiah Land and Bell with the Cowboys, where they both are looking to potentially make some inroads. Like you're seeing where they're writing about Marquise Bell, like he might get shot, somebody got hurt. Isaiah Land is kind of a tweener, and it's the question I asked about him going in. I said, "Hey, his size is remarkably similar to one Telvin Smith. I think he's going to be playing a lot more stand-up linebacker than hands down in the ground defensive end." And we're seeing where the Cowboys are like, "Yeah, let's try him at linebacker because if we got him at linebacker, he's got scary speed." Like that's the sweet part of this as a FAMU fan. Like you're having this renaissance of FAMU football. Like all of a sudden, you've gone from really a decade of futility. Then you come to where Willie Simmons really comes in and say what you will about Willie and not beating Jackson State, but he's broken streaks. Like Willie Simmons is really the coach that breaks curses. He defeated Cookman. Now he's got a winning streak against them. Winning streak against A&T. Dominated the MEAC on his way out the door. Like, say what you want to about FAMU not winning the MEAC at the end, but that was on our own volition, really. Like, look at some of what's gonna happen and what happens. His first season there, great season. Willie Simmons never had a losing season at FAMU. So now when you get a Rattler going into the NFL Hall of Fame, you get 3 Rattlers in the NFL, and one's definitely got some. Two of them, got a little heat. Like if the Land make the team, I don't know. Did Marquise Bell make the team? Probably. Did Xavier Smith make the team? Yeah. I think Xavier Smith's gonna make that team because you already have an example of that on the other side of the field from him. You got Cooper Kupp, and say what you will, but Cooper Kupp was that dude at Eastern Washington. All of a sudden, you get another receiver that's very similar to Cooper Kupp as far as production. Like, I won't say production. That's reckless. Um, ability. I'll say that. I'll say ability. Now Kupp is taller. Cooper Kupp is 6'2". Xavier's 5'9", maybe 5'10", really 5'9". But they have similar paths as far as what they were doing in college, really being the guy. Like, remember what Cooper Kupp did to Oregon? Like, yeah. I just pulled up his stats right fast because y'all know I like data. I don't like just sit up here and talk trash. Like his stats were solid. Like just as a receiver, 1,000 yards every year. Xavier wasn't hitting his numbers, but as far as importance to the team, very similar. So now you get another guy that's kind of got that little, maybe chip on his shoulder that want to coming back. I'm just saying that's really sweet. Like as a FAMU fan, that's something that I think that's something we haven't sold as a university this year. We haven't sold that the same year, and part of it is because honestly, it's who Ken Riley was. Like this ain't a time where I would try to sell some other stuff. Not yet. Not for a few weeks. Yeah, I'm trying to package. Oh yeah, FAMU. We produce NFL Hall of Famers. We got players in the NFL. We got NFL coaches on campus. Like I try to wrap that into one big package in a few weeks. But because of how Ken Riley was, this ain't it's not the time. Let Ken Riley shine. Partially because he was quiet. Like he was not boisterous. He was not pounding the table and say, I deserve to be in the NFL. Go back and watch even when he was older, his final days and people ask if he deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. He said yeah, but it wasn't like you could see if you looked at him that he was there, but he wasn't demanding it. He was so respectful, so calm, like really cool about it. And man, it's to come out and you get another set of Rattlers that are kind of like that, like Isaiah Land off the field. I mean, he cool, real nice guy. Marquise Bell off the field, quiet. He don't know you, he don't know you. Same thing with Xavier Smith. Uh, he's you know around people you know, but you start to see like I won't say meek, but I'll say humble, and you get another version of that. Man, like this is a time where, as an athletic program, this is where you get your capital gains program on, and this is when you start. Like you ride this to start that. Don't just simply depend on the affinity groups. Don't depend on the boosters to carry this forward because they do need you. But this is where you start the FAMU. You push the FAMU Athletic Fund. Don't just have it out there, but push it. Like start making it something to where it's something you're constantly advertising. You're constantly pushing, not just a one-off, but something where you are readily saying, "Hey, FAMU Athletic Fund, donate this time, donate this amount, do so much." Like this is the time because now the fruits of your labor are evident. It's not just the championships and all those things. Like that's part of it. SWAC championships are happening at FAMU athletics. But then beyond FAMU having championships in other sports besides football, we ain't got nothing in football since we left the MEAC. You now have probably the best recruiting coordinator in HBCU athletics, and you have some of the probably the most heat for out of all HBCUs at FAMU. You have a player who just former player and a former athletic director and a former scholar go to the NFL Hall of Fame. And you have 3 current guys in the NFL. And while no, they did not get drafted, they're also up there making noise, and now they're bringing scouts to your program. And this is where you sell, hey, this is what the boosters are doing, but this is what the athletic fund could be. We need renovations to the bathrooms that are going to cost $8 million is what AD Sykes has stated. Cool. Okay. 8 million plus. That's fine. But there would be less of a problem if the athletic fund was built up and developed and something that we readily continually supported. Like it's got to be something to where we start kind of getting out of the mindset of we're just gonna have these classics and I'm gonna say a word. We had to get to the point where we're not bitching about the OBC. It is what it is, and if you're still on that hill, die on it. It's fine. I'm not gonna die on it with you. I want to be in the OBC. I want to be in it every year. But I already showed y'all, hey, this is what the schedule looks like. FAMU's schedule is booked out for almost the next 10 years. And some of those games are already on that weekend. So for those who are arguing against it, you're not checking the schedule, you're just being loud. respectfully. I'm not throwing shots at anybody, but I'm just pointing out the facts that if you're still fussing about the OVC, I get it. I'm with you. I do understand that. But we have to get to a point where the OVC is just it's a game. It's something just like Florida State and LSU are having a game that they both took away from home. They're getting paid millions of dollars to play in it. But at the same point, they're saying, hey, support the battles in it. This is supporting our student athletes. These are our NILs. We need to get to a point where we are, as a university, developing our own NIL programs. Not where the students like Goosey's got an NIL, and some of the other players have NILs that they got a website. Go support their NILs. But we need a collective, like, and I don't know how to get that done yet. Like that's something I would like to learn to do, but we have to get to a point where we aren't just saying, look at what Florida State and Florida and whoever your secondary team is, if you have one, are doing, but we're saying, okay, fam, you can do it. And that's going to begin with supporting our own, creating our own, but also understanding that when we do those things, the money's going to come back because we're seeing how this is playing out with the FBS. We're seeing how the conferences are really going to split up into just really two or three, in my opinion. It's going to be two or three major conferences and then everybody else. And then what's going to happen is you're going to create another lower tier, in my opinion, of football. Then you have the FCS, like where honestly, it's another level of minor league football. I mean, we could be honest about it or we could lie about it. And that's going to be a problem for the HBCUs if you are not smart about how you're building your programs and really smart about your TV deals. I mean, part of the reason the ACC and the Pac-12 effed up is because they did the same thing the SWAC did with HBCU go. You just gave it away for too low of a price, and now you're stuck with it in a deal where the other people are looking around saying, "Oh crap, we're losing the arms race. We have to go somewhere else." Whereas the difference is with HBCUs, I won't say we can't go, but some of us just won't go to other places. We're like, "Nope, this is where we should be," and that's fine if that's what you want to do. But at the same point, if that's what you're going to do, you have to create your own streams of revenue that are going to be able to support your programs. Because I want to win like you. Winning feels good. It's nice to sit up here and everybody but Jackson State I can talk trash to. Like, oh, Southern say something? Oh, well, you lost to Jackson State. Oh, you a Jackson State fan? Okay. All right. That feels great. But if you want that big feeling, we have to continue to sort of support the program and get ready because I feel like we got a few weeks of hearing Jackson State talk trash, and then it's gonna be FAMU by 20, and then they're gonna keep reminding us about what happened when Dion was there. And so we're like, okay, well, Prime left, so you talk trash for a while. Now you got to wear it. So, yeah, man. But it says Lincoln, not the Trojans. Quick review. I talked that long about the FAMU versus Lincoln game. And I'll be honest, in the future, I hope we never do that again. I don't want to see them on the schedule. You can give me Lincoln University out of Pennsylvania. You can give me Lincoln University out of Missouri. But if we're going to play a Division II team, we need to have somewhere where we do our best to make it an HBCU if possible. If we're going to do that, give me Albany State, give me Morehouse. Like, come on. How can FAMU not play Morehouse? Like, I ain't even saying like it's going to be a good game. I'm just saying for the amount of Morehouse alumni that will come to that game, and you know they're gonna be talking cash about their school. That would be a fun atmosphere. Like, it's gonna be a whole bunch of dudes on campus. I don't know why, there'll be too many dudes. But at the same point, man, it would be a fun experience just the fan. Like, if we're gonna do this again, give me Morehouse, give me Clark, give me Albany State, give me Fayetteville State. I mean Fort Valley State. Maybe I'll take one of the schools from North Carolina too, but don't give me Lincoln again. I think FAMU wins this game. Like I said, 52-17. I'll write that on the show notes when I pull them up. And then went back, talked about FAMU recruiting. FAMU got a big signing on the baseball field. Got a new rattler out there. Also talked about FAMU recruiting as far as football. Talked about how Coach Riz is being revolutionary and kind of stealing some ideas that other schools have been doing and putting out his own FAMU twist on it. Talked about FAMU Rattlers in the NFL, especially, man. Look, the Rams been featuring Xavier Smith a lot. They got to steal. Like, what kind of benefits is it to having a coach like KJ Black up there? Just saying. We're also seeing a little bit of, little Isaiah Land, a little noise went his way, and Marquise Bell getting some motion too. So it's some rattlers and the pros doing some things. And, came back and definitely talked about Kim Riley. I didn't take any of the video because I didn't know that was FAMU's, NFL. I'm cool with Josh. Josh might let me slide. I definitely ask for it almost always. Whereas the NFL, I don't know nobody up there. And I don't want them taking down the whole video and trying to sue HBCU Digital because I was too lazy to, use proper channels. So I'd rather just talk about it and tell you where to go. Go check FAMU's Twitter page, Facebook as well, but especially Twitter page, getting a lot of updates there. As we saw a Rattler, the Rattler, as he was called in Cincinnati, Kim Riley, go into the NFL Hall of Fame. Man, Kim Riley, I did not realize how long he played with the Bengals, but he retired before I was born. So I know him as the head coach of the Fangs football team and athletic director. So a lot of y'all probably know him as that as well. So, but it's cool, and I look forward to kind of talking to my dad. My dad, that was his thing. That was his era. And lastly, I mentioned the scouts that were on campus and stuff like that. So it was a little loosey goosey today, largely because of the opponent we were talking about, Lincoln, and it should be a snoozer. It should be a snooze fest. Game you should win by like a good 20 or 30. So if you haven't seen though, go check out the FAMU Florida Regional Alumni Association, the Orlando Rattlers. They got a bus going down to Tampa, or it's really over to Tampa for the USF game. They also have a bus going to FAMU for the Alabama State game. Lowest prices they got are $60, but that doesn't get your ticket. That just gets your seat on the bus. So I will say it's probably cheaper than you'll pay for gas as well as parking for that game. They have the times and everything on there. Go check them out online. Also, Results Only Fitness. Go check them out. If you are in the Kennesaw, Georgia area, they're open. Go check them out. Go check them out. Who you gonna call? Cable Busters, cablebusterstv.com, 813-360-1902. $35 for up to 3 devices. What? You can get it on 1 to 5, but for the 35, you can only get it on 3. Also, the Rattlers National Alumni Association. If you don't feel like riding the bus and you're gonna drive over, they got hotels already set up. All the hotels are set up for the National Alumni Association. Go check out either the Regional Alumni Association, National Alumni Association, any one of those pages online. They have the information, what hotels that they suggest you stay at. You even see a homecoming hotel. Good luck. Hope it still got your space. Like, I'm just saying, I'm seeing 3-night minimum, 149 a night. And please, if you if they ain't sold out for 149 homecoming week, bruh. Like, let me put you on game one more again. One more again, as my man said in the song. Homecoming, Holiday Inn, 149. Look, let's as one of my favorite new teachers, coworkers says, Miss Collins, let's tell the truth and shame the devil. You ain't gonna find 149 in Thomasville at a lot of places. So you better get it. It's a 3-day minimum. And some of y'all for that 3-day minimum gonna pay one night. It's worth it to pay for 3 days and stay one night compared to what you've been getting. Now, if you don't have a home game that week this year, but still go over there and look at whatever website they ain't paying for sponsorship. You'd be hard pressed to find 149 a night. And I'm gonna check to see if that's still available. Like, that is a steal. Also had some send-offs happen yesterday and had some parties. So post your pictures. Let me know show how much fun you had. Don't show how much money you gave the babies, but show how much fun you had. Also, I talked about them early. Support the team behind the team. FAMU Boosters having an all sports kickoff annual fundraising luncheon Sunday, August 27th. You got a few weeks. $50 a ticket. They're gonna feed you. They're gonna entertain you. Football team gonna be there, probably gonna be wearing the green blazers, looking cute, looking fly, whatever you want to say. Cheerleaders gonna be there. Those gonna be smelling good. Ain't gonna smell like the locker room. Like there are some events going on campus, and as I previously mentioned, I already talked about it. Homecoming, the experience. They already telling you, best week ever. October 21st through October 28th. My mom's birthday and my birthday, same week, and homecoming. Yeah, buddy. And they got the hotel at the Holiday Inn for 3 nights for $149. Come on, man. Like, Holiday Inn ain't cheap. I just did that off, you know, helping the boosters and the alumni association. But I want you to save money because look, I ain't gonna lie. I'm staying at my parents' house. I ain't gotta pay for the hotel. I ain't gotta pay for nothing but gas and tolls. And I'm probably working together. So, I'll probably be in press boxes anyways. But I'm gonna tell y'all now, for that price, go compare that price to what people were paying for hotels last year. You can't beat that with a holy stick. If you watch Living Single, you get the reference. That's that episode where Overton and Sinclair were trying to get married and they just couldn't pass the test and they saw that never mind. It shows me too much of how much I like television. But yeah, like I'm putting you on game for that one. That was free. I ain't gonna charge you for that. That price for 3 nights? That's what? 3 full taxes? Like 450? 450 after taxes, you're talking $500, 500 some dollars. One night at some of these hotels was $600 and $700. And yes, I said it wrong on purpose. The Red Roof Inn, the what was it, the Motel 4? He was 200 a night at the last minute, 200 or 300 for the Motel 4. So look, y'all better jump on some of that stuff before these folks get it. Cause somebody gonna get it put on the resale. But anyways, I'm done giving y'all game for the day. Next episode, we're gonna talk about the Big Florida Classic. Like we're gonna finish up our season series talking about the Florida Classic. I'm talk about the new coach. Kind of, look at some of the stuff he was looking at, what he was talking about, and see what we got coming up for spring practice, man. Actually, next episode, we're supposed to be talking about the FAMU Great Festival. So as long as we make sure we got everything good, we'll have our interview. I'll send out the thing for them. But that's supposed to be the next episode. Then we're gonna talk about the Big Four Classic because it's a great season. Scuff Nines are on campus or not on campus. Well, okay, it's on campus. We own that area, but it's time. If you ain't picked your Scuff Nines, you might want to get them because the ones in public, man, they were the ones like I get from campus. So, but as we head out, big shout out to HBCU Digital Network. This is home to Herb Stewart and the Black Tech. Also home to the Fangs Up podcast, man. Appreciate you hanging with me today. Loosey Goosey episode of the podcast because we were talking about FAMU playing Lincoln. And it's not the Trojans. So, yeah. Y'all already know what it is. So it's always going to be.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Dorsey, have it!